Okay, so here we go. A whole host of different Justice League teams taking on Thanos. Now, people who ask if I'm going to do a movie one, yes, but I want to give it some time. Because I do think that, when it comes to the movie, I want people to have the ability to see what Thanos can do before I describe what Thanos can do. So I've got several iterations of the Justice League here. We will start with the Silver Age, and I'll jump through a decent amount of different styles of Justice League. So as always, same rules apply. 9. It used to be 7, now it's 9. If it ends up being 5-4, team with 5 more likely should win. See, this comes 6-3 now. So we get right into this. Okay, so we are talking about the intelligence of the Silver Age characters. If you've not read Silver Age, I recommend reading it. The amount of dialogue and the inventiveness of characters is pretty much off the charts, but the weirdest thing is, at this time, this is when Superman has the super memory, it's fully eidetic. He pretty much memorizes and understands everything. If you want to have an idea about the overall intelligence level of Superman without reading Silver Age stuff, go read Grant Morrison's Final Crisis, where Superman sees the wish machine for a matter of seconds, uses his full array of vision, memorizes every aspect of it, and then has wish machine built by memory. Bear in mind, when he sees it, it is not functional. So that puts him beyond a Legion of Superhero Brainiac level intelligence. Fighting ability. At this point in time, they're really not shown to do a lot of fighting. There wasn't the style back then. I'll jump through those next year pretty quickly. Speed. Now for strength, this is around the time when Superman is towing planets. And for speed, Superman alone is able to break through dimensional barriers based on speed. And Flash can effectively go in between universes almost at will from vibrating, as well as he can do some small amounts of time travel. He uses cosmic treadmill to really fully tune in what it is that he's doing. Now, ironically, this is around the time too where every character has a severe limitation. Thanos, of course, I picked a really nice black and white photo of him. Normally, Thanos is yellow and blue. So that means Green Lantern can do nothing to him. Because that's what happens with Green Lantern. Anything yellow gets right through him. Wonder Woman, this is the time when if you put her wrists together, she loses all of her powers. Aquaman, take him away from water. With Superman, anything magic related or kryptonite related, and he's done. Batman is a human. At this time, they really hadn't fully developed all of the abilities of Martian Manhunter either. Also for durability. Now, this is going to seem kind of weird, but the stories back then are very, very short. That's why when you read an old Silver Age comic, it's only broken down into several parts. Because they're written in such a really short, here's the villain maybe gets a one-up on the hero, next 12 pages, they figure out what to do, and they defeat him. EP, again, this is more of, there's a lot of things that they could do, they just never really fought enemies that were effectively world destroyers. Now we'll get burst to X Factor, because this is the time too when Green Lantern's abilities were anything you could think of over a 24-hour period. Anything. Superman, they gave him multiple abilities whenever they felt like it. And Flash could do anything related to speed. And of course for the X Factor, this is around the time too where Silver Age characters did not lose fights. They only lost from some bizarre Deus Ex Machina. If you read back and read the old Crime Syndicate of America, comics when they fought the JLA. If they fought the JLA on their world, good guys always won. The JLA fought the CSA on their planet, they always won, because that was the way just the rules were governed. So Thanos more or less can fight them on their universe, on their world, which means Thanos loses, because that's what happens in those era of comics. Morrison level. So here, of course, you've got Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter. So again, you have a similar group of individuals. Intelligence still goes to the Justice League because this is the time when Batman does everything. Batman's also the world's best fighter. This is Morrison's Batman. Ironically, this might seem kind of weird, during the Morrison run, this is when you had Blue Superman. So now all of a sudden, when it comes to the super strength on this team, Superman, no longer super strength. You had Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. So still a decent amount of powerhouses when it comes to strength, just they weren't written in such a way that they were anywhere near what they were when it came to the Silver Age counterparts. Speed, of course, because you still have Flash, still an incredible amount of speed. I want to say Morrison eventually wrote this iteration of Flash as being like picoseconds. Just incredibly fast. And plus, it's also around the era too. I tried to find the Blue Superman one, but I couldn't get one that had all of them for a good shot. And Blue Superman actually teleported. He didn't actually fly. He was able to zap places, so he had instantaneous transportation. Again, we're now dealing with all the characters have noticeable flaws. This is also kind of like your Tower of Babel era, where everybody, Wonder Woman is no longer as powerful as she used to be. This, I think, is also around the time when they gave her the vulnerability to electricity. Aquaman, strong character, but wasn't nowhere near as powerful as he was in earlier iterations. When it comes to who they've got for the Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, not sweating him, but he's the best they've got when it comes to a distance combat, and he has got nothing at all when it comes to Thanos, when it comes to just raw energy projection. And Thanos is still, not now he's the preeminent god killer. He is a legitimate world breaker. Versatility, yep, it's going to go to this team. It's because, well, it's Batman. The way Morrison wrote Batman during this era, this was when they fought the White Martians, and Batman was one that survived a battle with White Martians. Figured out who they were and was able to defeat them pretty easily. This is also the one, too, where as they went into the far future, Batman wasn't able to hide himself as Desaad long enough to give the Justice League the ability to defeat Darkseid. Yes. So this is the Batman who spent decades undercover on Apokolips without Darkseid knowing that the person who he has to do his torturing is actually Bruce Wayne. So, you know what's going to happen? Thanos is going to mop the floor with all the Justice League. Batman is going to pull out a Morrison Deus Machina, and it's going to be whatever it needs. He's going to reach in his belt and be like, "Aha! I have the dagger that Drax uses." What? And this. What's that? It's a glove of Drax's skin. It's glowing. That now means I have the ability to kill you because Drax was created by Kronos with the ability to kill Thanos. So with that one, it's so for Silver Age, it's because the heroes always won. For the Morrison Age, it's because Batman always wins. And now, post-Infinite Crisis. So now your team is Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Red Tornado, Aquaman, who is not pictured there, but he was also part of the team shortly. Red Arrow, Black Canary, Black Lightning, Vixen, Hawkman. I'm thinking I copied that over wrong. That should be... Oh, I'm drawing a blank unless I don't have his name down. He'd be the guy over Superman's shoulder. Yeah, because Aquaman is not in this one. So it would be whoever... Oh, I'm totally drawing a blank on his name. It's not Major Force, that's another villain. But he was a Geomancer. Geoforce. Geoforce. Sorry, not Aquaman. See, now we have a non-Morrison era Batman. And it's also post-Infinite Crisis. So the teams are still kind of fractured. but they're kind of somewhat still getting along. Fighting ability. I might hear it for this one, but now all of a sudden when it comes to your people who have tremendous levels of fighting skills, Wonder Woman would be able to do a number on Thanos, but then you get on to Batman. And now all of a sudden it's regular written Batman, who's written as a regular person. He's no longer the super supreme fighting god that he was during the Morrison era. And strength, I'm giving strength to the Thanos here too. Logically, you look at that team, Superman, Wonder Woman. Hawkgirl has some ability. I have Hawkman says you Hawkgirl. Vixen can have super strength, but the majority of this team is going to get flat out annihilated by Thanos. We do have a speed advantage because of Flash. Again, looking at this team, the vast majority of them are just humans. Black Lightning, human. Black Canary, human. Red Arrow, human. Batman, human. Vixen, human. Geoforce, meta-human. So the vast majority, even Hawkgirl as a Thanagarian, barely above human durability and vulnerability, but this team gets wiped out incredibly easily. Pretty much just leaving Superman and Wonder Woman left. I mean, Thanos easily takes out so much of this team, and those two do not stand a chance against him. EP, this is primarily because I think a lot of people doubt Red Tornado. Red Tornado is actually a living elemental. Once Thanos breaks that shell, that is a tremendous amount of power rushing out in one gigantic motion. I mean, he's an air elemental, so he has pretty much a portion of the Earth's ability when it comes to the generation of wind. He is incredibly powerful. And of course, versatility, it goes to Thanos, and X Factor also goes to Thanos, because now we're at the time where Thanos is written as Thanos only loses when he feels like losing. And against this team, so many of them are humans. He's going to crush this team so quickly that the ones that are going to actually hurt him, it's going to be Red Tornado's going to hurt him. Once he kills Green Lantern, that ring is going right to Thanos. And when it comes to Wonder Woman's lasso, it's going to do nothing to the will of Thanos. Thanos will be like, this is a lovely trinket, as he used it probably to snap her neck. And that's on to Superman. And Superman's going to do what he can, but around this time, Thanos also has... There's no one here who can protect their minds. So Thanos now, if he wants to, can probably mind control a good portion of the League right off the bat. I mean, he has the ability to just absolutely decimate this team very quickly. New 52 era. So now we've got a redo of the universe, and this is still a relatively young version of the team, so be sure to keep that in mind. These characters have not been superheroes for a very long period of time. So I'm giving, of course, the first two to Thanos. He definitely takes the edge when it comes to intelligence. He has every single one of his people outclassed. Closest one would probably be Cyborg, but Cyborg hadn't had a full integration with his with the mother box, so he has this information coming through, but he doesn't fully trust, and he's not fully cohesive with his abilities yet. And for fighting ability, you pretty much only really have Wonder Woman and Batman with any sort of fighting skill. And with them, Wonder Woman, good fighting skill. Batman, still young enough in his career that he hasn't hit that full level of raw power that he really needs. Now, with these two, again, Flash is always going to give him a speed advantage. But they also greatly increase Superman's strength in this one. Now all of a sudden he's definitely beyond where he was pre-New 52. He's not quite Silver Age, but they made him incredibly strong. And Wonder Woman is really close to a peer in his strength, with Aquaman not that far behind. So now all of a sudden they've ridiculously increased their strength levels. So now those three would definitely be a strength match for Thanos, and probably give him a slight edge. Now with these two, again, Green Lantern, fairly young in his career, so his ability to create really good shields, not really there. Flash, while he's incredibly fast, requires a lot of calories. We saw what happened when Darkseid was able to pretty handily bloody Superman. Cyborg, he's a couple of good shots away before he is riddled. So this match is going to very quickly come down to how long can Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman stay in this fight. And what's going to hurt them in the long run is that you've got characters who don't have a lot of experience using their abilities. So the raw damage he's going to put out is going to be absolutely incredible. Thanos is going to be able to take out this team quickly and easily. He's going to drop most of this team in probably the opening assault. Versatility, with this one, it really comes down to the tech ability that Cyborg has. Cyborg, with the combination of the apocalyptic technology, that's going to definitely give him a slight versatility edge. Yes, Thanos still has his telepathy. Yes, he still has all of his array of abilities. But someone like Cyborg potentially is going to be able to find some sort of way to use the apocalyptic technology to throw out things that Thanos probably hasn't seen. So I think that Cyborg at this time is written as an incredibly powerful individual. I think he definitely gives him a slight edge in this sort of fight, but for me the X factor comes down to you've got a young team, hasn't spent a lot of time together, they have spent a lot of time being heroes, taking out someone with thousands of years of experience. And against this new sort of team, he's going to take them out incredibly quickly. That's going to come down to pretty much him having a one-on-one fight with Superman after he's defeated everyone else. Aquaman's dropped, Wonder Woman's dropped. And the mind ability that Thanos has. He's going to destroy the rest of the team members, but he's going to mentally dominate and take over Superman, because he's going to see him as a tremendous asset that he can use. Then we have the United States government version. I laugh when I look through the way that this one was originally written out, and I was like, Martian Manhunter. Okay, well he's going to be somebody. He's going to be the Master Superman. Okay. They have Steve Trevor, Green Arrow, Katana, Hawkman, Catwoman, Stargirl, and Simon Baz Green Lantern. And the fact that I think they had Katana as the match for Wonder Woman, Catwoman as a match for Batman. And it was like, ooh, yeah, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. Okay, out of this whole team, Martian Manhunter's going to give him problems. That's it. I mean, the rest of this team, I gave him the versatility edge because Martian Manhunter has a tremendous amount of powers. And the way he was written in the New 52 initially, wow. When they had him pretty much decimate Stormwatch being a darker, edgier version of the Justice League, and he did a number on them. And you also do have a Green Lantern who's just still coming into his own, but has a lot of abilities. And what Stargirl's able to do, but this one's pretty much this team gets one-shotted. The Green Lantern ring probably goes to Martian Manhunter. And then it's going to be Martian Manhunter using his intangibility, shape-shifting, mental abilities, the eye beams. It's going to be him throwing everything he has at Thanos. And that's going to be about it. I mean, it's Martian Manhunter versus Thanos. And I think that with the power level he has here, I think he can hold his own, but he is not winning at all. He's going to finish watching his whole team just get... Thanos going to be like, huh. Energy beam. Oh, you survived. Okay. He's going to be taking on an absolutely enraged, bloodlusted version of Martian Manhunter. But Thanos is a team breaker. And as powerful as Martian Manhunter is written, at this time, he's got a whole team that's pretty much holding him back in this sort of endeavor. And now, the JLA post-Forever Evil. So now you have Cyborg, Flash, Batman, Green Lantern, this is the Jessica Cruz version, Captain Marvel, Aquaman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, and Captain Cold. So this is a team that's been together for quite some time. And you know what? This is an incredibly powerful team. Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter. Captain Marvel. Sorry, I can say Martian Manhunter. That is a tremendous amount of raw physical power. So, we'll get right into this. I'm still giving the intelligence edge to Thanos. I think that if this team is given some time to prep, I think the combined intellect of Lex Luthor, Cyborg, and Batman is going to be really good if they have time to come up with the plan. I don't think they're going to have the ability to come up with a worthwhile plan very quickly against someone of this caliber. Fighting ability. So by this point in time, you've got Batman's fully come into his own. Wonder Woman's really come into her own. Same with Aquaman. When it comes to the fighting abilities of Superman, he's gotten much better. Same with Captain Marvel, who's not a slouch by any stretch of the imagination. And you also have Lex Luthor, who is actually fairly dangerous when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. So you've got enough people who have more than enough hand-to-hand combat ability to work fairly well against Thanos. Speed, you have multiple speedsters. It's Flash, but a similar level of super speed when it comes to Superman, when it comes to Captain Marvel. People sleep on Captain Marvel a lot because of a combination of several gods' attributes into one character. He's incredibly powerful when written well. And strength, like I said earlier, Superman has nicer power level. Captain Marvel, who is right up there with Superman. Wonder Woman, step below. Aquaman, step below. That is easily enough strength to handle someone like Thanos. Invulnerability. With this one, looking at it, it's still humans. There's still a lot of humans. Which, from a logical standpoint, Jessica Cruz, not really strong when it comes to her abilities. Same with Batman. Captain Cold, he's another one shot. When it comes to Lex Luthor, he probably takes 2 shots. Batman probably takes 1 shot. They've got a lot of good abilities when it comes to taking damage. But, oh man, Thanos has taken multiple shots from an enraged Thor and has laughed it off. And that's a god wielding an artifact. So a punch from Superman's not going to really faze him that much if Thor, who is comparable to Superman, while wielding an artifact, isn't enough to stop someone like Thanos. Durability, again, and EP are going to go to Thanos. And this is because Jessica Cruz is still trying to figure out how her abilities really truly work. Ironically, there's very little when it comes to effective range. Like go with that damage of range from this group. Versatility. Now, the advantage with this group, Jessica Cruz, she's a Green Lantern in name, but she's wielding the power ring of Volthoom. So it's got a different style of sets to it. And now you have a Cyborg who is much more in tune with his abilities. You're also, of course, combining that with Lex Luthor, who pretty much walks around with a Deus Ex Machina suit on him the whole time. So definitely when it comes to what they can do at range, not overall damage, but what they have for breadth of abilities, it's definitely there. Definitely there. And for X Factor, I had to think about this one from a bunch of different perspectives. Captain Marvel will sacrifice himself in a fight like this. And when he starts wielding his lightning, that's going to confuse Thanos. Because now all of a sudden he's wielding a god-level attack. That's going to harm Thanos. Lex Luthor probably has some sort of god tech in his weaponry. Why? He's faced someone like Darkseid. He's got something on him. Cyborg this time has faced gods. He's faced supremely powerful individuals. He's faced the crime syndicate of America. He's faced off against Darkseid. He's going to have additional tech built into him to help him deal with something like this. They've got experience fighting individuals of this level. Whether it's Darkseid or it's Mazah. You know, they've got experience. They're a well-rounded team. There's multiple people who are willing to sacrifice themselves to keep this fight going. And I think that from a logical standpoint, just the way this team is designed and the breadth of characters and abilities, that team has the ability and the know-how and the teamwork to stop someone like Thanos. Not all the time. It's going to be a close fight. And it's going to come down to only a few people still left standing. But this man has the ability to put down Thanos. This one was a marathon one. People have asked if I will do another one where I will look at the Avengers team versus some of the DC EU villains. So I'll probably look at both Superman versus Batman, Doomsday, probably also Steppenwolf, just because of the only two they've gone against. Which means I will also try to work on probably the next couple weeks, probably not next week. So when I have a little break, will be Infinity War level Thanos versus the Justice League. And I did see that other people have asked if I will do a Man of Steel versus Infinity War Thor. I'll probably go with Justice League Superman because they really let him cut loose in that film versus the Thor we see towards the end of Infinity War.